My dad cancelled my surgery because my sister wanted to go on vacation, but his plan backfired in the worst way. You can't be serious right now. My voice cracked as I stared at my father across our kitchen table in our suburban Phoenix home. You're cancelling my surgery? Marissa, don't be dramatic. It's just a postponement, Dad said, not even looking up from his coffee. Your sister needs this trip. Dad, I've been waiting 9 months for this surgery. Emily's been under so much stress with her divorce and I need to walk without pain. Hi, I'm Marissa. Today, I'm going to tell you my story about how my own father chose my sister's luxury vacation over my ability to walk normally again. 7 months ago, I was in a horrific car accident that completely destroyed my right knee. It wasn't my fault. Some drunk driver ran a stop sign and slammed into my Nissan Altima while I was heading home from my nursing shift at Banner University Medical Center. The impact was so severe that my kneecap shattered into multiple pieces. The emergency surgery stabilized things enough to save my leg, but I needed major reconstructive surgery to ever walk normally again. Without it, I was facing permanent disability and a lifetime of chronic pain. My orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Patel, was very clear. Miss Anderson, without this reconstruction, you'll likely need a cane for the rest of your life, and the arthritis that develops will be excruciating. My father, Michael Anderson, had promised to help with the medical costs not covered by insurance. See, I had just started my new position at the hospital, and my insurance had a 6-month waiting period for major procedures. Dad owned a successful roofing company and said he'd cover the $18,000 gap without hesitation. Don't worry about it, sweetheart, he'd said, squeezing my hand as I lay in that sterile hospital bed. Family takes care of family. I believed him completely. Why wouldn't I? He'd always been a good father. Maybe a little distracted by work, maybe showing some favoritism, but still good. However, my sister Emily had always been the golden child. While I worked double shifts to pay for my nursing degree at Arizona State University, she got a free ride to University of Southern California. When I bought my used Corolla, she got a brand new Audi for her 21st birthday. I never complained because that's just how our family worked. Marissa, stop being bitter, my stepmother Caroline would say whenever I mentioned the obvious disparity. Your sister has different needs. Those different needs usually meant whatever Emily wanted, she received. But I thought medical care would be different. This wasn't about wants or luxuries. This was about my basic ability to walk and function. I scheduled the surgery for October 18th. Took medical leave from work and arranged for my best friend Hannah to help me during recovery. I completed all the pre-operative appointments, got medical clearance, and everything was perfectly set. Then 3 weeks before my surgery date, Emily called. Hey Riss. She only used that nickname when she wanted something big. Little did I know that phone call would change everything and reveal just how little my own mobility mattered compared to my sister's whims. I need Dad to help me with something super important, Emily announced, her voice carrying that familiar entitled tone. What's up? I asked, adjusting on the couch. Even sitting was becoming increasingly painful. You know how stressful this divorce has been, right? Daniel's being such a complete nightmare about the settlement. Daniel was her second husband in 8 years. Each divorce seemed more dramatic and expensive than the last. I'm really sorry you're going through this, I said, genuinely meaning it despite everything. I need a complete reset. Like a spiritual awakening. I found this absolutely amazing wellness resort in Costa Rica that does transformational healing retreats. That sounds nice. It's $22,000 for 3 weeks. But Riss, it includes everything. Meditation workshops, chakra alignment, spiritual counseling with actual shamans, organic meals, private beach yoga sessions. Dad already said he'd help. My blood turned to ice. $22,000? I know it sounds like a lot, but I truly need this. My therapist says I have serious trauma from Daniel's emotional abuse. This retreat specializes in healing divorce trauma. You understand, right? I hung up and immediately called Dad, my hands shaking. Before I could say a word, he jumped in. Just hear me out. Dad, you promised to pay for my surgery. And I will, sweetheart. Just not right now. Emily desperately needs this healing retreat. She wants an expensive vacation. I need surgery to walk. Don't be selfish, Marissa. Your surgery can wait a few months. This is about your sister's mental health. Dad, do you have any idea what it's like working 12-hour nursing shifts when you can't walk properly? I'm in constant agony. Take some Advil. You'll manage. That's when I knew I was completely on my own. My best friend Hannah was furious when I told her. Your dad seriously chose a spa vacation over your surgery? Emily's crystals need cleansing more than you need a functioning knee. That's beyond messed up. Marissa, what are you going to do? I honestly didn't know. I couldn't afford $18,000 alone. My cousin Ryan overheard us at a family barbecue in Mesa. Wait, Uncle Michael's paying for Emily to go to Costa Rica instead of your surgery? Yeah. Exactly. That's insane. Have you talked to Grandma Evelyn? I hadn't. Grandma was Dad's mom, and she never tolerated nonsense from anyone. But I didn't want to drag her in yet. Maybe you should, Ryan insisted. This isn't favoritism anymore. This is straight-up neglect. The next morning, Dad confirmed my worst fears. Marissa, I've transferred the money to Emily. Your surgery will have to be postponed. I froze. You can't be serious right now. Across our kitchen table, I stared at him in disbelief. You're cancelling my surgery? Marissa, don't be dramatic. It's just a postponement, Dad said, stirring his coffee like we were discussing weekend plans instead of my ability to walk. Dad, I've been waiting 9 months for this surgery. Your sister needs this trip. She's been under stress. And I need to walk without pain. Lower your voice. You're being unreasonable. Unreasonable? Dad, I'm 26 years old and walking with a cane. Do you understand what this is doing to my life? Emily's mental health is just as important as your physical health. Since when is a luxury resort in Costa Rica considered mental health treatment? That's when Caroline walked in. Marissa, why are you yelling at your father? Because he's cancelling my surgery to fund Emily's vacation. It's not a vacation, she shot back. It's a wellness retreat. Your sister has been through hell. She's been through 2 divorces because she keeps marrying men she barely knows. How dare you judge your sister's relationships? I'm not judging. I'm stating facts. And the fact is, I need surgery. Not spa treatments. Dad stood up abruptly. This conversation is over. I've made my decision. Yeah, you have. And so have I. I grabbed my purse and stormed out. But this story doesn't end there. Not even close. What Dad didn't know was that I'd been documenting everything. Every promise, every text, every medical record proving necessity. My friend Connor, who worked at a law firm, said, "Your dad made a clear promise, Marissa. You relied on it. Now he's backing out. That's textbook promissory estoppel. You could actually sue him." I don't want to sue my father. I just want him to keep his word. But he didn't. Emily jetted off to Costa Rica, posting endless Instagram yoga photos while I struggled to climb stairs at work. My doctor warned that delaying much longer could cause permanent damage. That's when Grandma Evelyn called. "Marissa, honey, Ryan told me what's happening. Is it true?" "Yeah, Grandma. It's true. That boy's lost his mind. Don't you worry. Grandma's going to fix this mess." "Grandma, you don't have to. Hush. I'll call you back." What happened next was pure justice. Grandma didn't just call Dad. She called a full family meeting. And when Grandma called a meeting, everyone came. "I've watched this favoritism for years," she announced from her living room in Scottsdale. "But canceling medical care for a luxury vacation? Michael, I am ashamed of you." "Mom, you don't understand." "I understand perfectly. You spoiled Emily rotten and neglected Marissa. This ends today." Dad tried to argue, but Grandma cut him off. "I'm restructuring my will. The money I was leaving to you, Michael, is going directly to Marissa for her medical care and future. And Emily, that trust fund you've been counting on? Consider it frozen until you prove you can stand on your own 2 feet." Emily, who had flown back early due to resort drama, burst into tears. "Grandma, this isn't fair." "Fair? Your sister can't walk because you wanted a vacation." Chaos erupted, but Grandma's word was final. She wrote me a check that day for surgery and expenses. "This isn't charity, darling," she said firmly. "This is justice." 2 weeks later, I had the surgery. Hannah helped during recovery. Family members who'd ignored me for years stepped up. Uncle David, Dad's brother, called. Marissa, I'm sorry. I didn't realize how bad this was. I'll cover your physical therapy. Meanwhile, Emily's retreat turned into a disaster. Without access to her trust fund, she couldn't maintain her lifestyle. The retreat was a scam. Her divorce lawyer froze her assets after catching her hiding money. Dad called me, furious. Look what you've done. Your sister is in financial ruin. I didn't do anything, Dad. You made a choice. If you hadn't run to Grandma. I didn't. Ryan told her. And even if I had, why shouldn't I? You chose to leave me disabled. Stop being so dramatic. My surgeon disagrees. Well, I hope you're happy. Your sister had to fly back in economy class. Oh no, Hannah said sarcastically. Not economy class. The surgery went perfectly. I recovered. Family supported me. Cousins, aunts, uncles all reached out, appalled. 3 months later, I was walking normally again. Back to full-time nursing. Dating Nathan, a paramedic I met at follow-up. Dad and I hadn't spoken, but Caroline texted. Your father wants to reconcile. He knows he made mistakes. He has my number. He's too proud to call first. Then I guess we're at an impasse. Meanwhile, Emily spiraled. Without Dad's money, she had to get a job. She lasted 10 days at a boutique before being fired. It's so unfair. Do you know how exhausting retail is? She complained. Our cousin Grace, who worked retail all through college, deadpanned. Welcome to the real world, Emily. Dad's roofing business suffered too. Clients dropped him after hearing what he'd done. His reputation tanked. 6 months after surgery, I was thriving. Promoted to charge nurse. Playing tennis again. Nathan and I were serious. Emily, living back at home, broke. Grandma required her to hold a steady job for a year before unfreezing her trust fund. A year. Ryan laughed. Emily's never lasted a month. On my birthday, Dad texted. Happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. I stared for an hour before replying. I am well. Walking without pain, thanks to Grandma. No reply. Thanksgiving came. Grandma hosted. She made it clear no drama allowed. Dinner was tense. Dad avoided my eyes. Emily sulked in Target clothes. Caroline made awkward small talk. Finally, Grandma snapped. Michael, don't you have something to say to your daughter? Dad cleared his throat. Marissa, I was wrong. I made a terrible decision. I lost clients, respect, and most importantly, I lost my daughter. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't undo months of pain. I know. But I hope it's a start. I studied him. It'll take more than words. I understand. Emily muttered, this is unfair. I didn't know it was that serious. Yes, you did. I told you. You didn't care. You even suggested essential oils. Several relatives snorted into their sweet tea. Essential oils can be healing, she protested. For a shattered knee requiring surgery? Silence. 1 year later, things had changed. Dad started therapy for his enabling. I created this monster, he admitted at dinner. I have to fix it. Emily had actually held a job for 10 months at a vet clinic. I hate it, she grumbled. Welcome to adulthood, I said. Dad and I were rebuilding. He paid for my therapy sessions, helped equally with me and Emily. Grandma unfroze Emily's trust, but with strict allowances and financial counseling. You saved yourself, Marissa, Grandma told me. I just backed you up. 2 years later, I was thriving. Nursing supervisor. Engaged to Nathan. My knee perfect. Emily, still adjusting to reality. Dad. A work in progress, but better. And me. Stronger than ever. So let me ask you. Has anyone ever chosen something trivial over your serious needs? And when their choices finally caught up with them, how did you handle it? Sometimes standing up for yourself means everything changes. And sometimes, that's exactly what needs to happen.